Hi, everyone. How are you today? I hope you are feeling great and full of energy. I also hope your English skills are getting better every day to become fluent in English. I'm here to help and support you on that journey. Subscribe to my channel. It will be extremely helpful on your path to becoming a confident English speaker. I begin this valuable lesson by asking you a few questions. Have you tried learning English through different methods and approaches? And you are really motivated, right? You followed a program, but after a while, you lost your motivation and you feel like quitting, feeling frustrated? And learning English and becoming fluent seems harder than you thought before. Don't worry, you are not alone. Most learners face the problem. I'm here today to explain what happens and how to overcome it. Before beginning our lesson, I want this video to reach as many people as possible who struggle with learning English and need support. My goal is to motivate and help people around the world achieve their dream of fluency. So if you find this video useful, please leave a comment saying it was helpful for you. By commenting and liking the video, you will help it reach many others who truly need it. So go now, write a comment, and come back to enjoy the video. I am waiting for you. I always tell my students that fluency isn't just about knowing grammar or vocabulary. It's about overcoming barriers and building confidence step by step. Fluency means avoiding common mistakes and creating strong language habits that lead to smooth, natural communication. Being fluent in English is like learning to ride a bicycle. At first, you struggle and fall, but with practice, you gain balance, confidence, and eventually, it becomes second nature. Over the years, I have guided many learners who face different challenges on their journey to fluency. Let me share their stories and how they overcame these obstacles. Fluency is increasing your vocabulary in useful ways. One day, a student came to me looking sad. He said, "My teacher, I know a lot of words, but when I try to use them, it feels like I can't remember them." I reassured him, fluency isn't about memorizing lists of words. It's about using vocabulary in real-life situations. Together, we worked on connecting words with pictures, stories, and simple sentences, instead of just focusing on definitions. We started by connecting each word to a picture. For example, when we studied the word apple, I showed him a picture of an apple, and we talked about the color, the taste, and the season when apples grow. This made the word feel real and connected to something he could see and experience. Next, we created simple sentences using the new words like, "I eat an apple every morning," or "the apple is red and sweet." This helped him see how words work together in conversation. We also used stories. I would ask him to describe a day in the life of an apple, from how it grows on a tree to how it is eaten. This connected the word apple with a story, making it easier for him to remember. Slowly, he started to use these words more naturally. He began to describe things in class without stopping to think so hard. He said, "I ate an apple today," and immediately followed it with, "It was delicious." This way helped him to remember words more easily and use them confidently in conversations. Fluency is about communication, not perfection. Another student asked me, How can I speak English without being afraid of making mistakes? It was clear he thought fluency meant being perfect. I reassured him. Fluency is about sharing your ideas clearly, even if your grammar isn't perfect. To help him, we started an exercise called interactive conversation practice. I gave him a simple topic, like travel, and we took turns speaking. On purpose to encourage him, I made a few small mistakes in my sentences, like saying, "I was go to the beach last weekend." He laughed and corrected me. "You mean, I went to the beach, right?" I nodded and said, "Exactly. Let's keep going." When it was his turn, he hesitated, but kept speaking. When he made a mistake, I gently corrected him, and he started correcting himself too. For instance, he said, "Yesterday, I go to market," and then quickly added, "Oh no, yesterday, I went to the market." When he saw that I made mistakes and laughed about them, he felt more relaxed about making his own. Over time, he stopped feeling blocked when he made a mistake and focused more on sharing his ideas. After a few weeks, he said, "I'm not afraid of mistakes anymore. They help me learn." Fluency is focusing on your growth, not comparing yourself to others. As the student's confidence improved, I noticed another student struggling in a different way. He approached me after class, looking frustrated, and said, "I feel like everyone is improving faster than I am. Why am I so slow?" His voice low. I could see the doubt in his eyes. To help him understand, I said, "Imagine two people walking in a park. One walks fast but keeps stopping to check his phone. The other walks slowly but looks at everything around them and keeps going. In the end, the slow walker might see more, while the fast walker might miss everything." I told him that it doesn't matter if you go fast or slow. You can go fast and not get anywhere, just like you can go slow and still reach your goal if you focus. What really matters is where you put your attention. Together, we set small, clear goals, like using one new word a day or practicing short phrases. I encouraged him to celebrate every little wins, no matter how small, like a correctly used phrase or a new word mastered. Over time, his confidence grew, and soon he stopped comparing himself to others and started growing on his own terms, proud of his unique progress. Fluency is developing a consistent practice routine. While this student learned to focus on their growth, another faced a challenge familiar to many learners. She struggled with consistency. She said, "I study English for a week, then stop for 2 weeks. How can I stay motivated?" I told her to give me her full attention. I explained to her what the best way to be consistent is. I said, "When we say I'm going to read English for 1 hour every day, we make goals like this all the time, right? Reading for 60 minutes is easy when we are motivated to learn. But we don't always feel motivated every day. Some days we feel busy, tired, or sick. What should we do on those days? When we are busy or tired, studying for 1 hour can feel impossible. We surely think, I don't have time to study today. I will study more tomorrow. On days like that, we might do nothing at all. Sometimes that's okay. We all have bad days. But we need to be careful. If we do nothing today, it's harder to do something tomorrow. And we keep doing nothing for days. or even weeks. At that point, it becomes very hard to start. So, what can we do in this situation? Instead of doing nothing, we could do less. If you can't study for 1 hour, study for 30 minutes. If 30 minutes feels too hard, try 10 minutes. If even 10 minutes feels hard, do 1 minute. You might think, what's the point of only studying for 1 minute? Even studying for just 1 minute is still doing something every day. And if you do something today, you are more likely to do something tomorrow. So what? You might think, I won't learn anything in 1 minute. But let's think about it. Even if you only studying for 1 minute a day, that's still 6 hours of studying a year. But there is something else too. After studying for 1 minute, you want to keep studying. You start to enjoy it. 1 minute could turn into 5 minutes. 5 minutes could turn into 15 minutes, then 30, and maybe 60. You might even forget about the time and read for more than 60 minutes. Without realizing it, 1 minute could turn into hours. The hardest part is starting. Once you start, the task doesn't feel so hard anymore. How long you study will change every day. Bad days will come. We can't stop them. We can't always control how long we study. But that's okay. What's important is that we do something every day. It doesn't matter how small. Even 1 minute counts. After finishing my explanation on how to become consistent, the student started smiling. Her worries disappeared. We made a daily practice plan, and as she followed it, she saw regular progress, proving that consistency is key to becoming fluent. Fluency is embracing your unique voice, accent, and all. As this student gained fluency, another came to me, looking sad. She said quietly, "Teacher, I hate my accent. It makes me sound stupid. How can I fix it?" Her words were heavy with frustration and sadness. I smiled and said, "Your accent is part of who you are. It shows your journey in learning English. It tells the story of your journey in learning English. Fluency isn't about hiding your identity. It's about speaking clearly and confidently." She listened carefully, and I saw a little hope in her eyes. We worked together on clear pronunciation, breaking lists of famous words down and practicing their sounds. One of the words we practiced is the word comfortable. I showed her how to break it down. Bull. At first, she hesitated, but after repeating it a few times, she felt more comfortable with the sounds. I asked her to say it out loud in this sentence. I feel comfortable speaking English now. As she practiced more, her voice grew more powerful, and she started to enjoy how her voice sounded. One day, she spoke in front of the class. Her voice was strong, and she didn't hesitate. Later, she smiled and said, "Teacher, I don't feel bad about my accent anymore. It's part of me." She realized her voice was special and her accent made it unique and beautiful. Fluency is speaking naturally without translating. One day, a student from China came to me. She struggled with something many learners face. She said, "I always translate everything in my head before I speak. It takes so much time, and it makes me so slow. What should I do?" I explained, fluency is about thinking directly in English. Translating from Chinese to English creates delays and makes your speech sound robotic and unnatural. She said okay, but still looked unsure. To help her, I introduced a powerful exercise, the quick response practice. Sitting in front of her, I asked simple questions, like what's your favorite food? Or what are you doing tomorrow? And give her only 3 seconds to answer in English. The goal was to respond quickly, even if the answer was not perfect. At first, she paused. Her head tried to translate her answers, but she fights against it. She hesitates, struggling to stop herself from translating. I smiled and said, "Don't worry about mistakes. Just say whatever comes to your mind in English." She answered, but it sounded robotic at first. Little by little, she started answering faster. Each time she spoke without translating, I encouraged her. "Good job. See how much easier that was." She began to relax. She began to relax, and soon, she was smiling. She practiced this exercise every day, and over time, she started thinking directly in English instead of translating. One day, she came to class with a big smile and said, "I didn't translate today. I just spoke in English." Her excitement was contagious, and I could see how proud she was of herself. Fluency is balancing all language skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. While these students made progress in speaking, I noticed another learner facing a different problem. She said, "I practice speaking a lot, but I still feel like I'm not getting better. Am I doing something wrong?" I explained to her, fluency isn't just about speaking. It's like building a table with 4 legs: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. If one leg is weak, the table will not stand properly. All the skills support each other. Listening helps you hear correct pronunciation and rhythm. Reading builds your vocabulary. Writing teaches you how to organize your thoughts. And speaking puts everything into practice. To help her, we added variety to her practice with effective exercises for each skill. Listening. I recommended listening every day to her preferred songs in English. She listened to a 1-minute clip and tried to repeat it. Then she tried to guess the meaning of new words from the context. Reading. She started reading simple stories for beginners. Each day, she picked one paragraph and underlined new words. She then wrote their meanings and made sentences with them. Writing. She wrote a few sentences about her day, like, "I woke up early today. I ate breakfast with my family. It was sunny, so I went for a walk." This helped her practice using basic sentence structures and new vocabulary. Speaking. We practiced a daily reflection exercise. At the end of her practice, I asked her to talk about everything she had done that day to improve her English. For example, she might say, "Today I listened to an English song, read a short story, and wrote 3 sentences about my favorite food." This helped her organize her thoughts, review her progress, and practice speaking about real experiences in English. After a few weeks, she smiled and said, "Thank you, teacher. You have really helped me. Now I understand how all the skills work together. My speaking is better because I'm also listening, reading, and writing more." By practicing all 4 skills, She felt more confident and proud of how far she had come. Advices to you. I have had many experiences with learners who faced a variety of problems that anyone can encounter on this journey. My advice to anyone planning to become fluent in English is simple. Practice every day, be patient with yourself, and most importantly, enjoy the process. Remember, every small step takes you closer to your goal. Fluency is not the final destination. It's a continuous journey. With perseverance, you will not only master the language, but also gain the confidence to use it in every aspect of your life.
Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe for more videos.